Thank you for hitting that like button on the way in. Hello, hello, hello. Hey, RJ. How are you? I feel like I ain't talked to you in forever. I had to come on here and open my mouth today because, well, tonight. Um, yeah, just to catch up with, what's been going on and everything. That's because we had a baby boy. Good, good, good. He's here. How are you? Oh man, that's amazing. Hey, Kajaria. Man, I'm glad to hear that. That baby boy has made it in. Good, good, good. That's what I'm here to talk about. We're gonna talk about how it is that I'm doing. Um and right now it ain't I'm not in the best of place, but that's why I came on so that I can move from the place that I'm in to a better place. So, hey Tammy. We're having a rainy night in Georgia. I love rain. Do you love it? The weather here in Florida is it's okay. I haven't really been outside today. I just kind of been inside. You know, when I tell y'all about those days where I feel like I get knocked down and then, I have to have like that bounce back time. I'm kind of like in that area right there. Um, but yeah, hey Creole, how are you? Um, but yeah, I ain't really been out in the weather, but it seemed like when I opened the door to, just go to the door or whatever, like I can't even tell you, how the weather is really like that. So let me stop even trying. I think it cool down at nighttime, and then it's getting heated up in the it's like in the 80s in the daytime. So, well, you all know that I've been on this journey now for a year. And I done got knocked down after knockdown throughout this journey. And I don't stay there for a long time, but I always tell y'all it's just something, it happens. And I don't really look at it as like a bad thing that I get knocked down for a day or two. Um, but it's frustrating to keep getting knocked down. Is what's frustrating to me. Another thing is frustrating to me is when I don't understand something, especially when I'm trying. And y'all know through this process that I said that I don't do a lot of googling. I don't do the um looking up different information. They gave me a whole bunch of information when I first started this process, but I didn't read it because I didn't want to put the negative things on the inside of me. So me, I just like thank you very much for that gift. Me, I try to think more on the side of like staying positive and finding the light at the end of the tunnel when you don't even really see it. So I've been kind of, I've been keeping you all up is with what's been going on when I go to the doctor. So I recently had a PET scan. Um and the PET scan turned out really great. I don't really have anything to be um thank you, Jamal Breeze. Once you learn to adapt, it's hard to fail. Thank you so much for that. So, um, I went and had the PET scan, and I promise you on everything, nothing just could knock me down at that time because I've been waiting on this forever because this process was supposed to be for me 3 months of chemo, have surgery to have the cancer removed, and then 3 more months of chemo. Well, of course, none of it turned out like that because this is a year later. And I've gone as far as 24 chemo treatments. So on the 25th, which was last week, I posted that short showing you all, telling you all about the results and of what happened with the PET scan. Um and the results of the PET scan is like I could have been dancing on the table because it came back that I have no live cancer cells in my body. It's like the chemo did the work that it's supposed to do. So when I went to see the surgeon, and if y'all have any questions with what I'm explaining, please feel free to ask the questions because maybe if you ask me a question, I'll get some more understanding of what it is that I'm supposed to be understanding. It's just I'm there's nothing really to be said about. I'm just frustrated because I don't understand this process. I really don't. I'm really confused right now, and I feel like I need to get it on the outside of my head so that I can move to the next place. Um so I got the PET scan done and everything came back reading good. I showed that in the shorts or whatever. Um And so what I was looking for was I've been waiting forever and a day since they told me that to move on to the process of having the cancer removed. So I went to the surgeon. He sent me to have a PET scan. And when he sent me to have the PET scan, he sent me with the thought of if the PET scan turns out the way that it's supposed to, then we're gonna take you to surgery, remove the cancer. And they was making sure. I've been telling y'all how everything go. And now hopefully y'all keeping up with what I'm saying because sometimes like I forget things. You know, you have chemo fog and you don't remember everything. So I've been posting steadily, right? So I did all of that. I got the PET scan done. Everything turns out right. I went to back to my doctor. My doctor gave me the results of the PET scan. Thank you, Marjorie. Thank you, Fly Girl. Um, so I'm talking to my doctors. They all excited about where I am, telling me like they having conferences and everything about me. Um, and where I am in this process. So I'm looking at everything is must be going well and like why wouldn't I think, and so I'm like in this mode of like I'm waiting to get my second yes because I got a yes from my oncologist, but it is up to the surgeon to do this now. And I told you I seen the surgeon one time and he the one sent me for the PET scan. So now it's like I'm excited about this place that I'm in, but I'm telling y'all I'm gonna take y'all on a roller coaster because thank you RJ. I'm gonna take you on a roller coaster because this is so crazy. So yesterday I got an appointment now after the PET scan. Thank you if you seek Gab. Thank you so much for that and tenfold to you. May God bless each and every one that's blessing me with anything. Prayers to funds. I really appreciate it. May it be given back to you 10 times what it is that you gave to me. And thank you all. Really, really thank you for the prayers. Oh, thank you, Jessica. So okay, y'all, I'm gonna low key ignore the chat because I'm gonna keep getting off um where I'm supposed to be. So I'll go back to the doctor on yesterday. And as I'm at the doctor on yesterday, I am giving y'all snippets of what's happening while I'm at the doctor. So I go in, everybody's so cheerful. Thank you, dope man. Um, everything everybody's cheerful and everything. I get weighed in. I've been talking to you all about my weight and everything because that was a journey that I was on prior to me starting down this cancer journey. So there was a hump that I had to get over with that because I lost 130 pounds and then I start to gain back because of the chemotherapy and all of that stuff right there. And so it was a little hard for me. So the first thing is that happened was I go in there and I get on the scale and I have lost 11 pounds. Everybody know that I've been struggling with this water weight that's on my legs. So it's like, yes, already a win at the beginning. Then I go inside of the office with the doctor, the surgeon. And the surgeon is talking to me and he says to me, and it's almost like he asked me a question as if I know, like it's my decision on what it is. And he was like, so what do you think about this process? And I'm like, that's what I came here for you to tell me what we gonna do in this process, right? So mind you, he sent me for the PET scan to see that I am an what you call it, a candidate for surgery. So now I'm waiting on these results, and the first thing he comes out of his mouth and he says, I don't think surgery is a good option for you. With the news that I got from my doctor before, is like, I'm not understanding this because it's like, how are you sending me here telling me that I'm in a good place, and then when I get here, the surgeon is telling me I'm not. So I'm like, I don't understand this. The next thing he says is, do you know how extensive this surgery is? No, I don't understand. So I tell him, I say, please explain to me like I'm a kindergartner because I'm not a person that I do a whole lot of research and everything because I don't want to get sidelined like that, right? So he tells me we're going to have to remove the stomach, the intestines, and some other things. And by the time he started explaining all of this stuff, I'm looking at him, I'm like, what? And he said the surgery can be done laparoscopic, but he does not do that surgery in that way. And he doesn't think that I could survive that type of surgery. I'm just thrown for a loop. Because then the next thing that he says is, well, he doesn't necessarily come right out and say it. Hold on one second. I'm sorry. And that I had at the doctor with me asked him, so what are you trying to say? Because it was like he's beating around the bush. And she said, what are you trying to say? Because she didn't want to just come out and say it, but she asked him because like she felt it. I didn't feel it. I'm still trying to understand. I never thought in a million years that all of this stuff was going to have to happen for me to have this. Because I've been, up to this point, I've been excited about, please get this cancer from out of me. You know what I'm saying? I don't understand this. But something in her says that he's trying to get at something. He's just not willing to say it. So she asked him. She said, Well, are you? Is it because of her size that you're saying? And he shook his head, yes. And then he says it. Yes, she's too big to get the surgery. Now, I know I'm not the smartest kid on the block, especially not right now. So, when he sent me for the PET scan, I was 11 pounds heavier when he sent me for the PET scan with the thought in my mind, we're going to get the PET scan to see if you're a candidate for surgery. If I'm too big yesterday, I for sure was too big when he sent me over there. So then why would you be playing mind games with me knowing you looking at me already and saying that I'm too big? So what are we doing here? Like why would you send me for that and you knowing that I can't, you saying that I'm too big to have this surgery? And I wouldn't survive it based off of my size. He's not saying that he's seen anything on the inside that was going to cost me anything. He not saying like my numbers ain't good. He's saying all of that stuff is good. But it was all of a sudden my size on yesterday. I just don't understand that and I can't wrap my mind around it. So, from the surgeon, I have a no. Now, he puts in front of me no surgery. Thank you all for the gifts. I really appreciate them. Um, he says that he think a better option for me. And y'all, let me not skip over this part. After he explained to me how this surgery goes, I don't want the surgery anyways because he doesn't do it laparoscopic, which means that I have to be opened up from just under the breast down to my pelvic area. No, I wasn't looking for that, and I ain't never had. I don't had surgery before, as far as a C-section and having my gallbladder removed. I don't want to be opened up like that. I ain't never been opened up like that. I had the little bikini cut or whatever to have that. So, um, at this point, of course, I don't want this surgery. I don't want it. So now he put something else on the table. I've heard other people talk about it before, and I think it's a different form of what I've heard other people talk about before. So now the option that he gives to me after him and my oncologist are gonna have a conversation. What is going to happen? So this is what they offered me. Because I don't understand it, I'm frustrated. I'm gonna say that again. I could be worked up about everything, but just because things didn't go the way that I pictured them in my mind and I didn't see it this way in my mind, I done had my mind set on having surgery to have this thing removed this whole entire time. Imagine being told that this is how it's going to go for a year, and then when we get here to the point of where it's supposed to happen, it doesn't happen that way. So that's what my tears are about, is the frustration of how you talk to me about this for a year and we get here and everything switched up. I've been big the whole time that I've been here. When I first started this process out, I was 235 pounds. Before, I was 379 pounds. I mean, not 479. Thank you, Lord. Anyways, and I lost all of this weight so other health issues wouldn't happen for me. And right in the midst of that journey, then this happened. So now the steroids and all of that stuff is making me gain the weight back. So, they've been telling me this for a year. part of that year, one of the chemos I was on, the cancer was spreading. Then we got on another regimen, and this regimen works really well, all the way to the point that I don't have no. They didn't find no on the PET scan. There is no living cancer cells that they see inside of me, right? So now what's on the table is radiation. And when he say radiation, my eyes get this big because I got kids. Um, that sometimes is the highlight of my day, seeing them. And you talking about radiation. So now I say when I say that about the radiation, he say, "Oh, no, this ain't gonna keep you away from your kids. You're gonna be able to." He's like, it's like a X-ray thing that's targeting just that one area or whatever, um, in the body. So I ain't never heard of this before, so I don't understand. I don't understand any of this. And so me, I know. Look, the doctor looking at me yesterday, he can see on my face I'm confused as all get up. And then I think about it, and I'm so in tune to myself and the frustration and the misunderstanding of everything that's happening right now. I can't even come up with to line the question up right to ask this doctor about what is happening. And when I get home, it's just like I would start a question out, and it's almost like he understand what I'm saying, but he really wasn't saying. But he also was like, I ain't got time to be answering all of these questions that you have. So now it's like I know when I go back to the cancer center, it's like I probably be inside of the office talking to my doctor for like an hour, asking him 550 questions. Because he actually sits down and he talk and he listen to the questions that I have. So um, that's what I left from the doctor, and I feel like I needed to come on here and like talk about it because I know eventually it's like it's so much stuff been going on and everything, and so my kids have not paused and thought about. I went to the doctor on yesterday, and they haven't asked me, and I've been praying like, God, don't let them ask me about it right now, because I feel like the only words that could come out of my mouth is they said no to the surgery, and they know that I've been looking forward to it. And I feel like as soon as I open my mouth and say it, like tears gonna come out. So I was like, I need to come on and I need to talk about this situation so I can get over this hump, so that when I do talk to the kids, like, this is not where I am, like, so frustrated, because they're not gonna take my tears as mom frustrated because she didn't get the surgery. They gonna take it as mom crying because this thing is not working out right. And that's not what I want to give. um that's not what I want to give to my kids. I don't want to give them the tears and everything, but I don't understand this process. So now too, another way that I know that I can look at it as, God didn't intend for me to have surgery to have this cancer removed. Um, he had another way of it being done. I just don't understand. And let me say this too. And hopefully there's some people that done been through this before, because now I got 1,000 questions in my mind. If I took chemo and it killed all of the cancer cells. And I know I probably sound crazy, but let me go ahead and be crazy right now. I'm fine with that. If I took chemo and it killed all of the cancer cells, then why do I need surgery to remove those cells? Will they come back? Will they like regenerate again and start causing the same problem again? I don't understand that part, so I'm not gonna pretend like I told y'all. I ain't gonna pretend like I know that. Then I think the next thing, okay, if the cells are all dead, then why do I need to have the surgery to remove it? I never thought of this because I never heard anybody say a tumor or anything, but I also told y'all too. Sometimes I hear certain things and it's like I check out of the appointment, which is why I always take somebody to my appointments with me. I always record my appointments because I don't there's a lot of things that I don't have understanding for. And when I have extra questions and stuff like that, I have people that I can send it to give me like some understanding of whatever. Um, let me see. I'm going back into the chat now. Dr. Patrick Soon-Shing unearths a 20-year-old report in front of the DIH director, Dr. J. I don't know what that last name is, so I ain't gonna try to butcher it. These are good to write down. I'm already taking notes. I told you when I go back to the doctor, it's like we probably be in there an hour, and I right now I'm willing to say I love the doctor that I have right now. I feel like he is so patient. He sit down in his chair and he sit right in front of you, and he try and answer every single question that I put out there for him. So, I'm going to be asking him. These are good questions to write down. Thank you, Miss. Thank you, Coffee. These questions should be asked to you. I am going to ask them, but like I said, when I come on here by this time, I need to have just get it out of me, because at times I think I'm overthinking the process. I just don't understand it, and I'm telling you, I get frustrated. I When I have conversations with people, I try to understand where they coming from or whatever, and I don't try to leave that conversation until I understand what they saying. And so for me, um I just get frustrated when I don't understand what this process is. So it's just like, not until now, it's like, it never crossed me as like, well, why do I need this part of the process if you saying the chemo took care of this right here and that right there? So I got a lot of questions. Scientific leaders identified the most important modules to stimulate and produce and the production of T cells and NK cells, which are the most important cells in your body to kill cancer. God bless you. Thank you, Rich. Yes, good job. Also, doctors take advantage of those who don't have backups. JB, when I said to you, I feel like if when he told me, um, when he sent me for the PET scan, knowing he already knew the size I was, this was 2 weeks ago. If you sent me for the PET scan, you knew before the PET scan that I was too big to have this. So it's like, is you creating some stuff for me to go through so that you can get like some kind of insurance money or something like that? I don't know. I'm just telling you, all kind of questions was popping in my head because I don't have the greatest trust of doctors anyways. I've had the worst experience with a lot of doctors when it came down to like my mama and my grandma and them and stuff like that. I was taught early on in life that don't trust them like that. So now that I got one that I'm trusting, and then he was the one that sent me to that one. And understand that this surgeon that I'm talking about, he is the same surgeon that he put my port in. Now I'm at this point right here, and I'm not saying that I should not trust him, because other than this, I've never had no issues with him. I just don't like this the way that this is going, only because I don't understand it. But for me, it's like, I don't even want this man to touch me, no nothing right now, until I get like a clearer understanding. We probably gonna bump heads, cause yeah, I don't, and I can't even answer at all as to why we gonna bump heads. But now that I'm home and like I've been able to like keep thinking and thinking about it, it's just like he brushing me off. But too, what I like to do is what I recorded at the doctor's office, I like to send it to my sister, and let her look over it, her and my brother look over it and see what they saying, because sometimes when you in these situations you don't be thinking logic about some of this stuff. So um thank you, JB. This was my question. If the cells are no longer active, okay, Marjorie, I wish I would have seen that was your question before, because it that wasn't clicking in to me before. These questions are just now popping in my head after everything that happened yesterday. It's like, why do I need all of this stuff if my my numbers are my tumor markers are normal at this point, and they see nothing active? Like, what? But anyways, what they want to do is they want me to take radiate. They want me to go to radiation, and he said it's something like having an X-ray or something, right? But what he want is me to do it for 5 weeks, but 5 days out of the week, like Monday through Friday, and each appointment is for 20 minutes. And I'm already telling y'all, I pay a lot of my stuff out of pocket already. And I'm like 5 weeks. My doctor is an hour, almost an hour away, and I got to do this for 5 days for 20 minutes for 5 weeks straight. Yeah. But again, I keep saying there's so many things in this process that I have to be so grateful for. Um, and I hate to be ungrateful because I don't understand this process. I just don't understand it. And why I say that is because people that have pancreatic cancer, 1% chance. So I'm very grateful, but I don't understand. I don't understand this part. I really don't. I don't understand any of this stuff right now. And so I don't even know where, like, to go with this. And then I have to sit with this for, I think, almost 2 weeks before I get the answer of what's next. Where are we going next? And I know right now I'm in the position that I'm in right now, because y'all know what I'll be doing. It's like 1 minute I'll be down, and then the next minute is like, you can't keep me down for long. I don't stay there for long, but it's just like, this is so frustrating to be in this position, to not know what happened next. Now next week you might be talking to me, and then I know, because everything that I do, I ask for God's guidance as to where that I'm supposed to go next. And so I know in my mind mentally, it's like, you have to either trust it or you have to worry about it. Which one you gonna do? And because I do trust God with this, I know that I'm not gonna stay in this place. I know that I'm not gonna stay here, but right now it is frustrating. It is frustrating. Um, talk to your doctor, please. Yes, I am. Ask all the questions, and if it don't sit well with you, please follow your gut. Advocate for yourself. It is it is a business as well, and that's why I understand. That's why I don't trust this, but I'm definitely I just didn't want to sit for the next 2 weeks just with this feeling um that I'm feeling right now. Just like there is no understanding of anything. Move on to the next doctor if needed. Um, JB, I am on. This is the second doctor I have. My first doctor that I had, he actually told me that it was my fault that that I turned diabetic in the middle of this process and all of that stuff, only to find out later that your pancreas is what control your A1Cs, and so this is very normal for you to have to go on to insulin um while you're going through this type of cancer. And because he made that statement and I had recorded him, uh they changed my doctor because they're thinking it at the cancer center is you're not supposed to have stress, you're not supposed to be stressed out or whatever, and in that type of situation he gonna be stressed. Thank you so much. Don't cry if you decide to do the 5 weeks. Here is some gas or go treat yourself. We love you. Thank you so much for that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And God bless you. So, um, yeah, him telling me that it was my fault. It was my fault that that happened to that I'm now taking insulin and everything, and I recorded him saying it. They then the cancer center canceled him out as being my doctor. I didn't even have to. Um, and not only did he blame me for becoming diabetic, he blamed me for a whole bunch of other stuff, and he was just like, and it was like the only thing he was interested in, just like you say, they're a business. In the way he was doing things was basically like saying, okay, you done said all you need to say, go get this, come on, go to this chemo room and get this chemo. um was basically how he treated me. And so I told him about it, what happened or whatever, and he was trying to send me to chemo. And I told this story. I came on here and talked to y'all. Something was wrong with my port. It was poking me. Even the nurse that's supposed to access it declined to access the port because she felt the thing that was sticking me. I also showed pointed it out to him and let him feel it, and he was like, oh, and you know the nurses are like, of course, he's not the one that accessed the port, so he's not the one that can make the call. The nurse felt it, and the nurse was like, I'm declining to access that port. You need to have it checked before we can do anything else with it. And that's what happened. I was almost off of chemo for about 2 months. But then again, too, that part of it was very frustrating for me. But I also now, once I got past it and looked back on it, I also knew that God was in control of that situation happening, because the chemo that I was on at the time, it was not it was not doing anything. My numbers was still 1,000. My tumor markers were 1,500, and 36 is normal. But and I was at that point was the sickest I've ever been in my life, even having to be in a wheelchair and everything, and only to go and get a CT scan and find out that the cancer was spreading at the time. So yeah, I just yeah, a little bit. I, he was a little bit, and I feel like he was definitely in it for the money. He was just big pharma. Go ahead, girl, and get this chemo. Wow, your fault. That's crazy. Right. Um, this changes. This changes and that changes. I'm so sick of these meanie doctors. Yeah, and for me, it's like yeah, I don't want to see you anymore anyway. So, and there are some people, the doctor that I have now, there are some people that I spoke to in some places that suggested one of the doctors that I have. And so some other people dealt with this doctor before and spoke some good words with him or whatever. So I like my oncologist but right now, but I'm questioning. I'm questioning, do y'all think I have a valid reason like to question the surgeon at this point? Even though I'm just asking, but I'm gonna go with what I feel like on the inside of me at the end of the day when it comes down to what I should do. Second opinion is always best, and also talk with your doctor to get a better understanding of some of your questions. Maybe you need to do a little research on certain things. And that could be true. It could be true at this time that I need to switch that up, because I feel like when I be looking stuff up as I be going through it, um, the things that I be looking up sometimes, and especially like if before, okay, say like I had the PET scan and I had to get they had to put the radiation into an IV, right? If I would have looked it up, like how they do the PET scan and everything, and it would have told you about the side effects and all of that stuff that come along with it. I feel like if I read like the side effects and all of that stuff that come along with it, um it's almost like I be manifesting, and it's like every time I see it, it's like I get every side effect that all of this stuff come with. That's how it's being like this whole entire time. Everything, it's like every side effect. I didn't read it. I didn't read about it before I went and got the PET scan done, but I read it after. What are the side effects? Because I was itching and different things, and come to find I was dizzy afterwards, feeling like I was gonna faint and all of that stuff. And come to find out, all of these are side effects of having that done. It reached, all of that stuff went away, and I talked to my doctor about it and everything. But it's just like I don't want to read the stuff and have it in the back of my mind. Well, these are the side effects from this, this, and this, and this, and this, and then I end up getting every side effect that it is. Now, one of the chemo that I am on now, I read some of the side effects from it, and yes, I do get some of the side effects from it. But you know, if that makes sense. If you seek Gab, I appreciate you once again, and thank you, RJ, for giving that thanks to them. If you seek. Yeah, yeah, okay. W's in the chat. Yeah, we are here for you. Lots of hug. Hey, love and life. Love from Arizona. Thank you. Yes, we had to shop around for doctors for my mother, and she is actively doing treatment. Well, let me tell you something. One thing about going to treatment, shout out to anybody who going to through this process. um this is not the easiest thing to do. It just like, if it for me, treatment is like picking yourself up, driving yourself to a situation that you know is gonna make you sick, and you have to consciously get up and make that choice every day. You got to get up and make that choice every day to keep on doing it. It is not the easiest decision to make all the time, because I know through several times you get tired. With this one, with the chemo that I'm on, and that's another good thing is like, I haven't had chemo now in 6 weeks. It don't even seem like that long, but it has now been 6 weeks. Because when I was getting ready to get chemo again, I do chemo 2 weeks on, one time a week, um every Monday. Monday, Monday, and then I have Monday off, that next Monday off, and then I go back. So by the time I had the PET scan, I've been on my 2 weeks off. Then I went and got the PET scan. The surgeon suggested that it's time for me to get away from chemo. Then I go back to see the doctor that next week, and the doctor agrees it's time for me to get away from the chemo, so I don't have chemo then. And so I didn't have chemo this week and last week. Yeah, I've been off for 6 weeks. So I'm excited about that. And sometimes the body do need um, a vacation from chemo. Yeah, so those of you that are going through it, you feel like I need a break. I'm learning that, I didn't know, always, you thinking the doctor make the best decisions for you, but you have to know your body, your own self, and make some of the best decisions for yourself as it is. Some people encouraged me throughout my situation, like Miss Creole, um, and some other people. I just can't remember everybody's name, but other people encourage me that if you need to take a break, then ask for that break, which is what I was did. But the doctors was already in agreement with that. I lost my sight last year due to prescribed drugs. The surgeon that fixed my sight put me put me back on steroids, then made fun of me when I called attention to these side effects. Now I'm going blind again. Man, look at here. That's everything. All of this stuff. And I think I got like over 100 prescriptions probably. And yesterday, one of the things the nurse was doing before the doctor came in was she was naming off all of the stuff that she see in the computer for me. And I was like, I didn't even recognize any of the names of those medicines. And I was like, what are you asking me questions about? Because at this point, none of it didn't sound like they was any of my prescriptions. I'm like, what is that? When she got when she got to the one where she said something about glucose, and I was like, she was like, are you monitoring your glucose? And I was like, yeah. And then she was like, do you still take insulin? Do you do? And I was like, so all of that other stuff you was reading off was all of my prescriptions. She was like, yes. I was like, well, honey, I probably got a handful of them that I take. I be making my own decisions. And I can only say one of the ones that I was taking and that I didn't make the best decision on was that, what's the one that they give to everybody? Uh, Anyways, it's one that helped like stop like the nerve pain and all of that stuff. I can't even remember the remember gabapentin. I was like, I ain't taking this every day. And honey, with them nerves pain, them nerve because the chemo that I was on before, I didn't have any of those issues, so I ain't know nothing about like the nerve pain or no nothing. But man, when them nerve pains did start hitting me, I was like, oh my gosh, I need to. Now, gabapentin was the one that was the scariest to like not take or no nothing. But yeah, all of these medicines be coming with like these side effects. So I pick and choose those ones that I take, and I only take the ones that I feel like is very very necessary for me. And this is me for me. If you make that decision for yourself, you make that decision for yourself, because what is for me is for me, and what's for you is for you. But yeah, I don't advise anybody to put all of their trust in this one situation right here. I don't put my trust in none of them anyways. The first thing that I do trust in is I trust in the relationship that I have with God to go before me. And all the time I'm telling you, that's not the easiest thing to do. And a lot of times I start on my face with tears in my eyes and everything, but I don't stay there. I try and figure it out. How do I move on from this place? And I knew one of the things was that I needed to do was come on here and talk to you all, because I do realize that sometimes I come on here and talk to y'all, and I always said that y'all is like my friend on the telephone that I'm gonna call up and talk to him, about what I got going on. Y'all, my journal is where I come on here and I literally journal like what it is that I'm going through, so I can go back and look at it. Um, and where I am right now is not where I was a year ago. A year ago, I was a mess. It's on here. A year ago, I was being diagnosed and in the hospital and not knowing which way my world had turned dark. So, I'm in a much better place than before. It's just I'm in a place where I don't understand, and I can say that me coming on and being able to speak about it out loud to you all and say what is happening, um, I feel like a relief that I'm not just like holding it in and sitting here all by myself, holding it in and not saying anything to anybody. But there are good doctors out there. Keep trying. I absolutely will. My nephew's doctor told him to call him any time of day. This week he had 14 hours of radiation this week. Lung cancer. Um, Marjorie, because I don't want you to have to like text a whole bunch of whatever. Does anybody know how? Because when he's saying it's like it's targeted in this area, I'm telling you, I'm not necessarily saying he wouldn't answer any of my questions that I have, but like you can get the feeling of like when you got all these questions going through your mind, you got somebody standing in front of you that literally is they giving off of energy like, girl, I ain't got time to be in here answering all these questions for you. I felt like that type of energy, but I also felt like my head was in a mess when I received all of this information, and it's like I don't really want to ask him because he don't feel like answering the questions or whatever. But what is it? How the and maybe that his radiation that he's doing is different from mine, especially if he had 14 hours of radiation in 1 week, and they talking about 20 minutes for 5 days. So, oh, we talking about what I'm getting is an hour of radiation in a week. See, in my opinion, I would look at it and I'd just be like, um, that ain't even that much. But then again, I'm saying it ain't that much, but then I don't know what it is that I'm getting into. I don't know what radiation does to you, what's the side effects from it, uh, or whatever. But also, he said that if I'm going to do the radiation, then it also leads to me not having to take chemo. Uh, for those 5 weeks still. So, I don't know. Yes, question him and get another opinion, please. I will do that, stylish T. I will do that. Go for a second opinion. Everybody is in agreement with that opinion to see if it's a tumor. And that's too that I didn't I was about to say it, but I didn't understand like, is it a tumor or like is it like spread everywhere? I don't even understand it, because that's what I'm trying to understand. Is like, what is the surgery for? What are they gonna remove? Do they scrape off of the dead cells, or I just don't know. I don't understand it. I don't understand like why. So let me write that down. Is there a tumor? For cancer, and will still let you. Some doctors mistake in tumors for cancer and will still let you do chemo. Some tumors are removable. The only thing is with it, Harmony, the way they talking about removing it, if there is a tumor or whatever, uh is one of the things that sent me out the window. Is like, here I am all excited about having surgery and don't know what surgery entails. And when he started telling me about what that surgery entail, I was like, oh, hell no. I do not. Do not want that kind of surgery. Um, ask many questions you want. It's your body. At the end of the day, you want to control what they're putting in your body. Absolutely. Hey, Kimberly. Hi. How are you? Yeah, the ultrasound department told us we were having a girl until 30 weeks, 31 weeks. And we went to the specialist and nope, a healthy boy with a big wow. And then if you start purchasing stuff for the baby, then you got a whole bunch of girl stuff, and you actually having a boy. Yeah, that's crazy. Educate yourself and ask all the questions so you can own your decision. Yep, I'm going to, and I just have to, it's like when I get into it or whatever, is just have to know when to. What they say, you got to know when to hold them, know when to fold them. Yeah, sometimes just like I don't know when to get up out of it, and sometimes um getting a lot of information makes me sick on the stomach like I was all day today. I have been sick, so I was like, let me get up from here and let me go live and talk to my people. To get some relief of this thing. Little sister, I am sending you love from San Francisco, California. Thank you, Tim. I received the love. Thank you. Hey, Archivia. um it's a literal battle. It is. I mean, and if it ain't one thing, I feel like you can be in the greatest of place on this one day, and then like you in the because right now it's like I feel like I shouldn't be complaining about anything because I feel like I'm not sick like I was before or no nothing, but like then it's like it's not the physical sickness or whatever that you're going through. Then it turns into like this mental thing. I mean, there's so many ups and downs about it. It literally is a battle. And then I thought about yesterday. I made a video, and this was yesterday's morning that I made this video. I woke up and I felt like I needed to cry about something, but I literally didn't have no reason to be crying. I didn't. Nothing had went wrong or no nothing. And then after I thought about it, after I got home, hold on one second. Sorry about that. Literally after I got home, I thought, could you feel that you were about to go through something on that day is why the tears were coming, because I couldn't think of no reason whatsoever that I should be crying. And so I was like, the tear came to my eye, and then it was like, girl, you ain't got no reason to be crying. You going to get this second yes today to get this surgery. And now I feel so crazy because I'm like, I didn't understand this surgery. Honey child, let me tell you something. If they would have got me in that hospital, me not understanding what was going to happen in this surgery, and then they told me all that they was going all that they was going to do to me when I got up in there, I think I would have lost it. I think I would have lost it. I'd be like, oh no, you gotta take this out and take that. They gotta empty my whole cavity to get to this one situation or whatever. And yeah, I just never imagined in my wildest dream that that's what it was gonna take. And the thing is I've had the where they go in with the less evasive type surgery. I've had that done before to have my gallbladder removed, and so I kind of thought that's how the situation was gonna go. I'd be down with that, but he was like, I don't do that. I'm like, okay then. You get very tired and it's not easy on your body. It definitely isn't. Like I've been beat down. I still ain't caught up yet. I actually fell again yesterday. I've been 6 weeks removed from chemo, and who would have thought? I would have never thought in a million years that I'm gonna have pancreatic cancer, but my legs ain't working right. How many people have that same story? You going through this one thing, but because of the medicines and stuff that you taking, and all that's happening in my legs is side effects. My feet are turning black. Like when I say black, I'm talking about like the color the crayon black. That's my foot turning that color. Not all over, but it's turning colors in certain spots or whatever. But I would have never thought like cancer would cause an issue. Is like you get up out of a chair, you get up out of off of the bed, um you don't have any of the balance. It's like my where your ankle meet and it flexes at or whatever. It's like that doesn't want to flex, but then also in the back, it feels like when I try and stand up, it's like that muscle in your calf. It's like it's trying to stretch, but it don't necessarily want to stretch, so it pull you back one way or the other way, and then you end up on the ground. So this makes 4 times now that I done failed since I've been on this new chemo journey, this new chemo regimen. And none of them I've hurt myself with, and I don't want to, which is why I don't visit to the garden or know any of this stuff. But hopefully, I'm thinking if I'm getting ready to go do this radiation, if I'm gonna keep it in prayer and God give me the answer of what it is that I'm supposed to be doing. If all starts to get back better, I'm going to be back out in my garden, and I know my kids and everything is willing like to help me or whatever. I'm going to, if I got to sit down and do the things that I need to do, I'm thinking of going back to the garden. Yes, a battle. Put on your spiritual armor constantly. Yes, yes, yes. Yes. Gotta put the kids to bed. Love you, sister in Christ. Love you too, RJ. Good to see you. You're the best and most you must rest. I do agree. I do agree with you. The body needs rest, especially is going through a big change like this. It needs rest. Yeah, like sometimes it'll take the rest if you don't give it the rest that you're supposed to. And that's one of the things that I had a hard time dealing with when I first came to this. I've never been a person that just lay down in the bed and sleep all day long. I be up 6 o'clock in the morning, 7 o'clock in the morning, out in the garden, and then I don't come back in until 8 and 9 o'clock at nighttime. And sometimes when I come in and get my kids straight, get everybody fed and everything, and they get ready to go to bed, I'll be right back out there digging back in the garden again. I just never been that type of person, and so that was one of the hardest things for me to come to terms with in the beginning. That you ain't gonna have the energy to be able to go out and do those things that you wanted to do before. So now it was time to rest. Yes, it makes sense because if I read side effects on medicine, I most certainly wouldn't take it. So I am guilty of doing the same because I'd be scared of some side effect. Absolutely. She looks like a WWE wrestler boogie man. Not hardly. You can't be that can't be your real name and you saying something like that. But anyways, that's your opinion. You didn't win anything. Good job on a congratulations on a bad job, whoever you are. I miss you too. Pray for guidance. Absolutely. Absolutely where I'm going is asking for guidance. OMG. You're going to be all right, sis. Thank you, Creole. Hello, Auntie. I'm back. Ray back. Um, Eat lots of berries. Okay then. I definitely can Go back to doing that. I haven't drank my soursop tea in a long time. I'm gonna go back to drinking that as well. I have a soursop tree here in my yard, so I'm gonna go back to that. Michael, you have to figure that out by your own self. They going aggressive, but you've been getting chemo for a year. Yeah, this my chemo has been aggressive. I've been on an aggressive regimen, and they surprised at how like I've dealt with um this chemo. The first one I wasn't dealing too well with, but this second one, I think I did pretty good with it. I understand. My prayers are with you. Thank you, Harmony Sunflower. Sunflower is my favorite flower. Is she crying now? Until you will be okay. Hey, Shamika. Um, everything good tonight? Okay. If you're going through that kind of poison to your system, you're going to have to bump up your own response from your own immune system. If you're going if you're going through that kind of poison to your system, you're going to have to bump up your own response from your own immune system. Okay, that makes sense. Please find a therapist who do lymphatic massages. That will. I need to write that down too, because as many as times I done been to the doctor and talked about it, um, the yeah, I've never and y'all know one of the things is the issues with my legs is they holding a lot of fluid in my legs. And so um anybody know how that feel when each one of your legs feel like they weigh 100 pounds a piece? Is a workout all on its own. And so that's partly of what I'm going through. And to me, looking at my feet now, they look kind of normal in size, because the water pill that they have me on is not allowing like the swelling to be as prominent, but it's still like my legs are hard, like if you get a bee sting and you feel around the bee sting, the part that's swollen, it'd be real hard. That's how my legs are, like that all the way up and down. So my mom is in her 3 week and her swelling is almost totally gone. Just ask about this ASAP. All right, Stylish T, I'm definitely going to ask about that. I wrote that down on my list that I already had going that I'm getting from you all while we live. And I'm going to ask about that. God knows best. He had you all this time and will continue. He said no to surgery. Marjorie, that takes me back to all the times that I was scared, and then he was saying no to chemo at those times, and come to find out it wasn't working. So, um, but that's partially what I came here for, is to get my mind back on track, get all of the negative thoughts and everything that I'm having on the inside of me, and get back to my thoughts and the encouragement of finishing this process up. So, yeah, everything starts with your liver and kidneys. Start cleaning them. Milk, thistle, dandelion, herbs like that. Put the body in a rebuilt flush mode. Okay, let me write that stuff down too. You said milk, thistle, dandelion. Dandelion is something that I done heard of quite a few times to take instead of using the water peel. People was telling me about the dandelion herbs that they help. It helps to flush out. But my first doctor that I had, he ain't want me using anything. Is like he was even against me drinking the soursop tea. But then when I got the new doctor that I have, my new doctor was like, I've heard about some of the things, everything haven't been proven scientifically, but I encourage you. I haven't heard one thing he said, I haven't heard anything bad about it. He was like, so if you feel like that's what you want to do, he was like, go ahead and try it. Put the body in a rebuilt flesh mode. Okay, so I got those things. I think getting back to the garden will give you peace of mind. Absolutely. Thank you, David. Thank you so much. I think the garden is very healing. I would still continue to go out there. Don't let him scare you off. Yeah, I think I do need to get back to the to my garden. It's one of the good things. I tell my little granddaughter that's 6 years old. She continuously asks me like every day because she used to go in the garden with me every day. But like it's like her asking me about it is like an encouragement to get out of there. But if I'm telling you I'm falling inside of the house, I just don't want to go out in the garden and hurt myself. And with those times, and I don't even want to be scared about that. But another thing too is I have the option to use like a walker or something like that, and I don't have a lot of energy. My legs heavy, they hurt. I can't give y'all no more excuses as to why it's the whole mess. But I need to figure out a way like to get out there, and it's just like I feel like I'm not old enough to be using no walker yet or whatever, but which is crazy. I need to get it out of my mind. Even my granddaughter said, Mom, you need a walker. So I just have to get it in my mind, and if it's something that I want to do, I need to get past that hump of thinking um I'm not old enough to be using a walker. Just yeah. So yeah, and if I really want to get out to the garden, then I'll, get over that hump. Hope everything goes good. My dad lost the battle. Hope you are good. Yep. Rip shot of one of those. We talked about this the last time that I came live, and I don't necessarily look at it as like they lost a battle because one thing I have learned before is that there is healing in death. Sometimes, and especially it being your dad, he is going to be like the strongest person that shows up in your life if they're a good dad or, whatever. Um, and the one thing that he wouldn't want to do to you is like hand you over this burden. And just me thinking about being in this position, I never want my kids like to feel the sadness of this or anything, but I also know that throughout this process, when people talk about losing a parent to cancer, that they lost a battle, um I don't necessarily look at them as losing, because like if you run in a race, sometimes you get tired, especially you used to run in a 2 mile race and this time the race is 3 miles. You can get tired before you get to the end of that race. I've been tired within I think about 4 months. It probably wasn't even that long. For those that have been on my page for a while, knows that there was a time that I was so sick. I was living basically in the hospital for about 6 months. Um Again, it goes back to that thing where you get tired of driving yourself to a place that gonna make you absolutely sick, and you trying to heal. Sometimes before you get to the finish line, you get tired, and you actually ask God to relieve you from this, and sometimes that relief comes in death. um so that's kind of how I see it. And he may not have said it to you or know nothing, but unless you've been through this like cancer battle, you don't know what it feels like to have your body torn down the way that this thing does. The lymphatic therapy falls under OT, and your oncologist can send a referral and your insurance will pay for it. Okay, stylish too. Did you get your gold teeth all at once? or one at a time. All at once, Carmen. Lack of Mo Jones. I get that my grandma is the same. Mm, God bless you. But yeah, I thank you all for coming on and hearing me out. And I always talk about like balance. It's like hopefully some of the things that I'm talking about and I'm giving to somebody, I'm trying because some everybody doesn't want to answer the questions about this cancer process. I am someone that I don't mind people asking questions about how do you feel about this part, what did you do about this part, because sometimes you have people that don't want to share like the hard things that they going through in the cancer battle they in, because they feel like they protecting you. um and Rip Shotter, I don't know. I just feel, even though you're typing it, I feel like that. So how do I don't know? And it's somebody else who text the same thing the last time I went live, and I just felt like they were just you to type that. I felt like they were good people and they wouldn't want you to know that they felt the way that I would feel, because can you imagine your parent telling you that I'm tired and I'm ready to go? That's your parent and they were good to you and they took care of you. Can you imagine them telling you that? And now you get to this place of where like you feeling guilty, you asking them to stay or whatever. Sometimes they ain't gonna say it to you, because even in the position that they in, they still trying to protect you, their child. So, and I think that's like an amazing thing, and like that's your dad being a superhero. All the way to the end is that, you know, I'm tired. I've fought all I can fight over here. I'm ready to go to a place of rest. So hopefully he left you with the best of memories that you still can tote around in his heart, meaning that he ain't never too far away from you. If you were, he was the best dad and was finished with it. You were 100% right. Do you use CBD, or always remember when you say you don't want to use a walker, a body in motion stays in motion? Thank you, Rip. Thank you, Rip Shotta. You gave me see this, and this is what I was about to say. Is like when I come on here, I never want to come on and be a burden to you all. I like a thing that's called balance. Hopefully, there's something you're getting from me and I'm getting something from you. So then when we all get off of here at nighttime, we all balanced and we're in a good place because we've helped one another. It wasn't more on one person than it was on the other person. I like a balance of things. But Rip Shotta, I appreciate you for saying that, because even if it's with a walker, I'm still in motion. So I need to get on and get with it so I can mosey on to the places that I want to go. I appreciate that. That was real insightful. Thank you, Carmen. We are here for you, even though I don't comment all the time. I'm still here supporting you, supporting your journey, Miss Creole, and I believe that with everything with me. I see you. I see you all the time. Sometimes I don't say anything. I don't hit. I hit the like and the heart button all the time to just let y'all know. Sometimes I see your comments, and I appreciate everything y'all give. But if I don't like the comment or give it a heart or whatever, um you know, that doesn't mean anything either, because whether I heart it and like it or whatever, I'm still reading everything, even if it's later on down the line. I'm going back looking at videos that I made over a year or 2 years ago, and I see some of the same people in my videos from a year or 2 years ago, um still in my comments right now. And then when I see them from back then, I really didn't have no, I, because once you start getting 1,500 comments and all of that stuff on your videos and stuff, it's impossible for you to read all of them. You wouldn't have time to do any of the other stuff you do throughout the day. And that's what was happening back then. And so, it was much harder for me to read them back then. So, but it's always a pleasure to go back and read some of them now and like see. And I'll be telling y'all, I've been encouraging y'all, go back and look at videos that I made like a year or two ago, like my shorts and stuff like that, so you can better understand. It's like cancer is not like my first rodeo. I've been going through stuff my whole entire life, and it's just like soon as I think, oh, I ain't going through none of this stuff no more, and I get excited about just having some peace in my life. It's always like the next storm comes to knock me down. But in all honesty, I believe my storms don't come to actually knock me down, especially when I've been able to keep getting back up and, get going again, get back on the good foot. um, I think, like I explained to you all, I think each one of my trials and tribulations, my storms, whatever you want to call them, they come along, and it's like, okay, you beat this right here. Let me give you this right here. It's like going in the gym. You've been lifting a 10-pound weight for a year. That 10-pound weight ain't no challenge to you. Let me give you a 20 more pounds to add on to that, and then you can feel the intense burn, but you're growing through those things. That's how I look at this right here. And it's like I had it down packed in the garden, but it was time for me to take a break from the garden so I can learn how to do it from the inside. And so, with all of the things that I had gone through before, cancer was definitely a 20-pound weight added on to the 10-pound weight that I've been lifting. Stuff that wasn't a challenge for me. you know it's like grade school. You go from kindergarten, you scared when you first go to kindergarten. By the end of that year, you got it mastered. But then here comes second grade, come along with more challenges that come along with it. This is what this is like for me. And so, as long as I got it in me, I'm gonna choose every time to keep on getting up. And that's why I encourage people that it don't matter what it is in life that you're going through. Make sure you grow from whatever the experience is you going through in life. If I can get up and say that, and I done gone through this cancer battle, 24 rounds of chemo, um, I'm sure you can find something in whatever it is that you're going through, some kind of way to grow from it. Another thing that taught me the other day that I was going through, thank you for that gift. I was going through YouTube page, and sometimes when you see what others have gone through in their life, it will encourage you, especially when you deem it as, golly, I could be in this place. You understand what I'm saying? So the other night, I was strolling through YouTube, and I seen this young lady. She's young, and she was in a car accident. And if y'all know who she is, you can put her name in the chat. I don't remember what her name was, but I know she's in my algorithm now because I watched several of her videos. But she was in a car accident when she was in college, and she lost the use of her arms. And just her testimony alone made me like, I almost feel like I don't know how I would feel going through that challenge, because here it is that I'm scared to be in this situation because I've never been at the mercy of nobody having to take care of and do everything for me. And I was crying about people having to take care of me while I was going through what I was going through. But when I saw her, it made me put it in a different perspective, because she really is at the mercy of everybody. Her arms do not move. So She got to have somebody brush her teeth for her, comb her hair. She can't even put on a pad or take care of herself when it's that time of the month. She can't pull her pants down to go use the bathroom. It's just so many things. And so it's like, for her, I know if she was encouraging me, then she for surely encouraging somebody else who going through um, the things that they going through in life. So Hudson had says they have a question. Go ahead and ask your question. You are not a burden to us. I assure you, this is helping many people that are going through this. Thank you, Creole. Um, hey Valerie. Hey Berhana. I don't want to mess up your name. Keep pushing, girl. You got this. Thank you, Valerie. Thank you for that gift. Thank you so much. Um, you look good today. Thank you very much. When I was at the hospital, seeing my seeing my dad there was a seeing my dad there was a single mom, 21 years old, had a stroke and couldn't move. Yeah. Right when you think like you at the worst, you can be in a worse situation than you in. And you just have to keep that balance of, you know, where you are. It don't mean that you ain't gonna ever hit the ground, because like I almost view that, and what I'm learning is to is like everything I've been my whole life is like I ain't been able to trust people and stuff. So certain situations I get in, I be scared like to get down to the ground and be like a baby in that situation, because for me, crying when I was a little kid was, it meant you was weak. That's what the grown-ups that were around me taught me, is like, you weak for crying or whatever. So everything in my life I always approach it as like, I'm a big girl, I handle it this way. I ain't got time to be doing no crying, no none of that stuff right there. And when I started over here, I needed to cry. I needed to get it out. The stuff that I had been through in my childhood was not allowing me to sleep in my 40s. I couldn't go to sleep. Just had me up and up and up, and I just knew, it's like, there is no way I'm supposed to be going and talking to the world and saying this stuff that I'm saying out loud, sharing this with the world. I got to be crazy out of my mind to be doing this stuff right here. And as soon as I was obedient to what I was supposed to be doing, I would get rest. But it's like when I tell one thing, it was like 2 nights later, something else would be in my mind. I wanted to talk about it and I felt like I needed to get it out of me, but for some reason, like, it just, I didn't want to, because I had done held it. I had protected the people that had done did this stuff to me all of my life. So why do I need to let it go now? When I came into that point of where I would get this one thing and then peace would come over me, I would be able to go to sleep. Then I'll be thinking about the next thing that happened to me. And it was like, oh gosh, I ain't talking about that. I ain't telling that. I'm not telling that. The more stubborn I was, no sleep, no sleep, no sleep. After 2 or 3 nights of no sleep, honey, I would come on here and hit that button so quick and record that junk and release it. And it was just like, it's like a therapeutic thing. It's almost like that thing they say, you write something on a piece of paper and you can set it afire, and it's like you releasing it into that, you releasing it and you letting it go or whatever. I felt like that when I would be able to say, and what I thought that I would feel, I I thought that I would feel like nobody believed me or know nothing. In all actuality, I didn't feel like nobody believed me or whatever. I just didn't care whether they believed me or not. I'm telling the story. I can tell the same story over and over again without going back to look at it. I can answer any question about it. No, nothing. My memory when it comes down to that stuff is impeccable. Um, and nobody has challenged me on any of the stuff that I say. I can remember all the way down to the clothes that these people was wearing that did the things that they did to me. But yeah. Now I don't even know. There you go. Carolyn Hall say the truth will set you free. Absolutely. The truth, me telling all of this stuff that happened, I'm telling you, it set me free as to where I could not even go to sleep because you ever had a bell in your ear, the bell is ringing and you can't do nothing about it. You can't do nothing about that bell that's in your ear that's ringing. Well, when things in your life is time for you to let them go, they'll show up in your ear the same way. I don't know if that's everybody out there, but for me, that's what happens. It's like that event just keeps playing over and over in your ear, and you can't do anything to stop it. You can't do anything to stop it. When I'm supposed to say something to somebody, that thing plays over and over again. It's like I can't get no peace from it until I release it, till I let it go, till I say it to the person that I'm supposed to say it to. Whatever it is, whatever direction it is that you was given prior to then, it will keep ringing in your ear until you let it go. What it was doing for me was when I would think about it all day in my head, but when it was time for me to lay down and go to bed, I'm like, ooh, I'm glad I'm finna get ready to go to bed so I don't have to hear about this no more. It worked for like the first night. It was uncomfortable sleep, but the next night there was no sleep. The third night, up just crying all night, laying in the bed, trying to get peace from this one thing. So your body and your relationship with God has this way of letting you know when it's time for you to release stuff. I just didn't know that it was going to be like in a place like this. I hadn't been listened to in my whole life, so I felt like I needed to scream to the top of my lungs to the world what was happening to me, how it happened to me, and who it was that was doing those things to me. So, um, I'm just saying, go if you go to the shorts, go back into the shorts and hit the old button and go listen to some of those old shorts that I put out. Go back to my old videos, go listen to those things so you can hear some of the things that I have been through in my life, and God knows there's plenty of them. So for where I am right now and all of the things that I had been through, I don't know of another weight that God could have given to me at this moment to build me up for whatever it is. When this came into me, I was mad at God at first when I was first diagnosed with cancer, and I just thought to myself, God, haven't I already been through enough? Why? Why would you allow cancer to happen to me? Um, that was the place that I was in, and I didn't stay there for long, but I did ask the question, why did I need for this to happen? And you may think that somebody that's dealing with cancer, you wake up and think about it every day, all day. It's not a thing that happens to me, so it's like the cancer doesn't really bother me until like I got an appointment or something like that, and I don't really call it that bother me. It's like going to the next thing. Okay, Jay Holcomb. All right. Um, but it's not something that I think about every day, all day. It just ain't. I think more about how like my legs hurt me so bad and that right there, but it don't. When I'm thinking about my legs hurt me because I could physically feel the pain, it don't even cross me as like the reason why this happening. Oh, the reason your legs hurt is because no, I just get up and I think it's like if you're hurting about something, then you just it just hurt and that's all you're thinking about. Colton, thank you very much. Did you think that was going to bother me because you come over here and you call me Baldy? I see myself when I'm looking at this computer, this phone screen, I can see me perfectly well. I can feel the top of my head. And guess what? I love everything about my baldy head. Now, Colton, what I'd say to you is be careful who you play around with because you could end up with this bald head in an unexpected way. And I don't tell you that to be mean, but you better be careful of who you play with. And I'm just going to say it like that. And I ain't going to even erase your comment because I don't come on here to intentionally harm anybody or cross them in any way. So be careful coming over here tripping over a person like me because I'm highly protected regardless of what it is that I'm going through. And, anyways, I love my bald head. It's something that I thought I wouldn't love until it actually happened. And I love my bald head. I might even decide later on that I ain't gonna let my hair grow back. But I just want you to know, um, be very careful. Thank you, Jay Holcomb. OMG, she just put a curse on Colton. No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Crumble loaf. I don't know how to put a curse on anybody, but I know what my father says: touch not my anointed. And one thing that I do know, regardless of what it is I'm going through, I know that I'm anointed. I've watched people over the years that thought they got away with stuff that they did to me. And I have absolutely not. I don't know how to put no curses on nobody. I don't know how to do that. I wouldn't want to do that to nobody. Not even my worst enemy. And I don't know too much about nobody being an enemy of mine. But I can tell you what, somebody done tried to put one on me before and it didn't work well for them. Because when it doesn't work on you, and see what Colton came in here and did, he tried to say something to me to hurt me, which he doesn't have any power to do that. So when the hurt that somebody tries to apply to you doesn't work on you, where do you think that goes, Crumble Loaf? Where do you think that goes? See, I don't have no power. He released that into the atmosphere. I'm not on here trying to hurt anybody. But if you come over here thinking that you're doing something to hurt me, baby, it's going to come full circle and slap you right back upside your head. Not me. Not me. So, no, I don't do curses. I don't do all of that. I'm just telling him in a calm voice. And luckily, he's getting it in a calm voice. I'm not in a bad mood tonight or no anything because I can switch from this lovely grandmother voice to a voice that can make your ears ring. Yeah, I can. But I get up and I choose every day, regardless of what it is that I'm going through, to show up with respect. Now, I can be disrespectful. Don't get it twisted. But curse somebody? No. I might give you a couple of cuss words, but yeah, no. I ain't put no curse on him. Drink some water, Cash Money. Thank you for that advice. I'll do that. My mom always told me don't judge people. You don't know what will happen to you later. And you don't know what will happen to you later in life. Absolutely. Absolutely. Your mom told you, right. No, Cash Money, I'm not dehydrated. I actually have water sitting right here next to me that I'm drinking, but I've been drinking. I've drinking almost a whole gallon of water. A whole gallon of water today. You see the corner that I got left in there? I got this one sitting right here next to me. That's the only corner that I got in there. I'm drinking a half gallon. My people that have diabetes and stuff like that type of stuff, like you probably looking at my tongue or whatever like that right there. But That type of stuff happen all the time, but I'm not dehydrated. Hi, trio. That's right. Tell them to be careful and don't mess with God's children. Yeah, I'm just telling them the black leprechaun put a curse on Colton. Crumbly loaf. I don't know. See, you come and I can't even say you talking to me because I'm not a leprechaun. But I'm telling you, Crumble of you go ahead and be careful. I listen, I won't even erase what it is that you writing here. When you find yourself at the mercy that you need to come back in here, but make sure you come back in here up under Crumble Loaf so I understand who you is apologizing for what it is that you said. Because the leprechaun that you might be trying to call me, you might be that leprechaun tomorrow. So, I don't know. I don't know what God gonna decide to do, but I'm telling you, be careful. Be careful. Don't worry about what other people say. They're just trying to be meanings and yeah, Jay Holcomb, you see, as long as you see me, listen, I'm here to tell you. Some of these people that's in this chat, they already know. I get this all the time, and I deal with the same way. I'll read your comment, I'll read their comments too, and I still respond the same way. I still respond to them too, because if that's what you wake up and do every day is to come on and say something mean to somebody who ain't offend somebody who ain't offending you, you will be the one end up being offended. So I'm just clearly telling them. So I don't skip over their stuff or not. Cash money, God or not, you need water. What that got to do with anything? You done told me 52 times in this chat that I need to drink some water. You been heard. So move on to the next. And if you think I'm dehydrated, go look at somebody else's channel where you ain't got to see me be dehydrated. Okay. Okay. Cocoa butter for what? Stop eating processed foods. Yeah. See, cash money, one of those things. Yeah. Mario burgers. If I did fart, it's like a natural thing that happens with people all the time. Are you like a little kid that don't understand that situation? That everybody does it. You got to be pretty immature to um okay, let me just get rid of some of these people. um can you say happy birthday to me with my name? It's my birthday. I just want to know God's listening. I just want you to know that God's listening to you. God cares about you. God is your savior. Absolutely, He is. Thank you, Scott. With what's with all the hate right now? Worry about yourself, Rip Shot. But I'm telling you, with all the stuff that I done been through in my life, is like these people, they come over here and they think they bother with you, and they do bother with some people. Right now I'm just not one of those people. I done been through enough stuff way worse than that right there. And I'm telling you, um you come over here thinking you doing something, and then it's gonna be right back on you, the thing you hoping that you doing to me. I just don't understand people wanting to cause hurt to somebody on purpose. And if that's the job that you choose in life, go on and do your job. Do your job. And I hope you get paid well for doing your job. Yeah, you're on the winning team. That's what the devil do. Like he do his job. But I'm gonna be doing my job too while they doing my job. And over here the light is so bright that darkness, you can't barely see. I make you disappear when I show up in the room. When I show up in the room, that's just the way it is. So keep on coming over here. They come over here and can only stay for so long because, you know, it's hard to bring the darkness in here. Hello, ma'am. How are you? I am new to your channel. My name is Angie. Hi, Angie. Thank you for coming through. What is good though? Oh, God is the living water. Amen, Miss Carolyn. Amen. They have a dusting for sure. Absolutely. You know, and I wouldn't be surprised. Like I tell people, and every word that I say, I absolutely mean it. I absolutely mean it. I don't got time to explain it. All I can tell you is you don't have to believe it if you don't want to. I don't know anything about no curses or nothing. But one thing I do know, all of the stuff that I done been through in my life, for facts, I know that God loves me. And sometimes I don't want to wait for him to avenge the things that I've been through in life. But I do know when I do wait on him and he show up, I'm not even happy with the things that happen to the people that play around with me. Cause I don't bother with nobody like that. I don't. And so um when you come around and you want to apologize for what it is that you done, because I've seen some people being broken down to their knees having to apologize. But what happens when I'm nowhere around for you to apologize? You can't find me to apologize in that thing. Because you see, the thing when I was telling y'all about the ringing in your ear, what if one night you just lay down to go to sleep and all keep ringing in your ear is that you came on here and you decide to call me Baldy, but you can't get that ringing of Baldy, Baldy, Baldy. You trying to lay down and go to sleep at nighttime and all you hear is what you said to me. Baldy, Baldy, Baldy. And you keep tossing and turning in your bed and you trying to go to sleep and you still hear Baldy, Baldy, Baldy. And before you know it, you losing it because you can't go to sleep. See, that don't got nothing to do with me. All you doing is hearing the repeat of the words that you said in your mind trying to attack me. And now because your words didn't work on me, they came back around and slapped you in your eardrum. That's not me doing anything to you. I didn't say those words. You said them. So you see how that kind of felt when I was just telling that story about that right there? It's like you can feel it in your soul when I said those words. Yeah. Hello, Queen. You're such a positive warrior. Thank you, Netta Joe. Um, they are evil. Absolutely. Exactly. Hurtful stuff. Hey to everybody that came in. I hope y'all having a great night. I'm in a better place, much better place than I was when I first came on here. They hurting themselves. That's why they trying to hurt you. Yeah, hurt people hurt. And I can't necessarily say that because let me tell you something. What I'm telling you, I've been hurt all of my life. I keep encouraging you all to go back and look at my stories. You know, when I first came on YouTube and everything, my videos and my shorts from back in the days. I've been through some stuff. And in my mind, whenever I showed up in places, I always wanted to show up with respect. I always wanted to be nice to everybody. I even had to learn that um, nice don't always work, and it doesn't, because people will take your nice, your kindness for a weakness. So sometimes you have to pick it up. You know how God was in the tabernacle and he was turning over those tables and all of that stuff. Especially at a time when I feel like I didn't have that in me, but once I knew that I can turn over tables, it went really, 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 really bad. But I also was really, 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 really nice, and people ran over me. And somewhere along then came balance. So I got the best of both worlds. I just choose not to venture there too often. But those videos are too. It's just that the people that are um that are in my members only they join my membership, they can see those sides. There's two sides of me. I'm human, but I don't go around bothering people. So, and because I've seen the evidence in my life of what happens to people that do decide to try and offend me. I've been called bell pepper nose. I think my nose looks nice with my face. I've been called Fester. I went and made a video. Me and Fester side by side. That's my uncle. I'm waiting on the inheritance he gonna give to me. After he gone on to the afterlife. If he ain't already there, I'm still waiting on my inheritance. Like, come on now. It's like I'm too old. I'm too old for that, and I ain't looking for nobody, so I don't need nobody to call me pretty or no nothing. I think when I look at myself, I look in the mirror and I think to myself, or I'm looking at this screen on my phone right now, and I'm thinking to myself, "Girl, you is cute." That's what I think to myself. I don't care what anybody else thinks about it. I really don't. I ain't looking for nobody. I'm a loner. I mostly be by myself all day besides my kids and stuff being around me. That stuff don't bother me. It don't bother me. We never understand them because they don't think they don't think like that. How do I get my teeth as pristine as yours? I don't know, Squirmy Master. Go ahead and try and figure it out. Hit your dentist up. Another smart one that you know, people that try to take little shots like that, there's nothing perfect about my teeth. There ain't nothing that I'm really trying to get done to them or whatever. There's when you have cancer and you going through chemo and everything, you can't even go to the dentist like that. So, and nor do am I trying to be perfection. Squirmy, you might be one of those people that you don't went and got all of your teeth drilled down and got them chiclets put over the top of yours. You know, I don't know where you're going with that. I love my smile. I absolutely do. Still winning. God bless you, and I want you to know that I think you're a good person. Thank you very much, Jay Holcomb. The brighter the light, the greater the fight. Yeah, Sherry, I didn't know. See, that's why I tell you, there's different things that come to take you higher to that. Because when you go to the place that I've been through, you have to go through some of these hard things. Because the stuff you gonna face out in the street is like, you walking past somebody and they call you a niglet. When you can look at them and bust out laughing at them. You ain't finna get me embroiled in anything with you saying that like that, because when you look up the definition of it, it is a dirty person, and I happen to look down at the person and they feet was dirty as I don't know what, they skin was dirty as I don't know what. So who is who? So you look at that and you be like, you come on now, it is what it is. No, it's like, hey, 9 seconds counts as a watch. Yeah. Why you think I ain't getting rid of them? Go ahead and, give me a view. Why they over here trying to insult me. um, Karma is real, though. It is real. It is real. God's got you. Thank catastrophic spider blunt. When God shows up, the devil will get up and walk out. Uh-huh. Left hand gets itchy when I'm getting money, and my ring ears when my ears ring when someone is talking about me, and my nose get itchy when I'm gonna get into a fight. It's real. Yeah. Yep. Thank you for Jamal. I'm not ignoring you. I really appreciate you for the gifts. Really appreciate you. Thank you tenfold back to you. You got that 100% right. And you are always love your smile. Thank you very much. A piece with Miss Treese. um what's your story, buddy? Um yeah. I'm offended by that. I'm not your buddy. um Why are you bald? Okay, see, somebody like your fave football girl. I can answer that. I think that is a respectful question. Um, and you obviously had to just come in. I'm bald because, and it's, I will say to you, your football girl, you probably still can find a different way to say it instead of why are you bald. You can say, why don't you have any hair? So um, I'm gonna tell you too. I find your question just a little bit. I'm not offended by it, but it could be offensive to somebody else because I know you've been taught manners that it ain't what you say, is how you say it. But I don't have any hair because I'm going through chemo, and that's all the time that I'm gonna give to that. Can I place an order with you? I'd like to order a Big Mac, large fries, and a strawberry shake. Can I also have extra ketchup on that side? Thank you for gracing us with your presence. But, I know some of y'all are slow and you don't actually know that you're not at McDonald's. Um, Probably better get on your phone, and hit the people up to have all of that stuff delivered to you. And it probably ain't the best thing that you want, but do your own thing. So, ask a better question, Fav. Absolutely, Adriana. Thank you very much. Do not hate, appreciate. Amen to this. This is the woman who fed my kids dog food. Now, why would you bring your kids to me for me to feed them dog food? And I don't think I would accept your kids anyways, because don't you know that I'm a woman I have 14 children. There's no way in the world I would be begging to feed anybody else's children. And I sure have never, ever fed any of them dog food. Now why would you bring your kids to me for me to feed them dog food? Jurish, that's crazy. Why are you bald? You got no hair. See, Duty, you here. I know you had to be in the room when I answered that already. I will not answer that. More power to you, Queen. Thank you, Shasha. um, Jesus loves you, and the only way to get to heaven is to repent and turn to Him. Y'all heard what Elijah said in here for you ones that are coming over here and saying the things that you're saying. How gay was Jesus? For Cody, woe unto you. Woe unto you. I hope you have a great night. I hope you have a great night with you coming in here saying that. Cody, God forgive him because he know not what he say. Hey Noni. Hey beautiful queen. Hope you are well. God bless you. Thank you very much. Hi Frank. Okay, y'all. I think we done dealt with enough trolls. They coming in here, you know, all over again, and I think I done gave them enough words to encourage them to go the right way for tonight. I enjoyed my conversation with you all, and I just want to say to you, anybody that's under the sound of my voice, no matter what it is that you're going through in life, make sure you're growing. Make sure you're growing on the inside and on the outside. Um, Gardening is a blessing, and with the way things are going in this world today, um, you're gonna need your own food and everything that you're growing in your yard. You're not going to be able to trust anybody's things the way that you can trust what it is that you grow in your yard. This has been Life with Tashanna, where life is like a box of chocolate. You never know what you're going to get. Um, Well, Cody, leave us, write us some scriptures in here so we can all read about it. I bet you can't name no scriptures because we love scriptures over here. Drop some scriptures in the chat so we can all go and read about them since you're reading the Bible. Drop them. Some people doesn't know how dangerous they are being talking like that. Yeah, because actually they think they're coming over here and doing something to me. It ain't working. It ain't working. No, it's not working. Um, that ruined this for us. No, Ripshotter, don't. One thing, don't do that. Don't never let them ruin anything that you got going on, even if you got to block them intentionally yourself. Because when you're a one that's walking right, it's not people that are already walking right that you need to encounter. Does that make sense? It's the ones that are lost that you need to encounter so that they can have a different experience and learn how to do something different. See, you don't want to keep encountering the ones that already know how to walk and do things the right way. It's the ones that, you know, don't know any better that you gotta keep running into. Um, so, John, see, we would, Cody, us that read the Bible or have read the Bible know that that's a lie straight from the pits of hell. So, but anyways, go ahead and say what it is that you I just, hopefully everybody in the chat knows. So we gonna just go on past you and we gonna say God bless you because you know not what you say. So, but y'all, those who know better. Thank you for subscribing to the page, and those of you that has enjoyed the talk tonight, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe, and come over here with us and be a high class gardener. That's what we are over here. Um, but you all having an amazing night, and I appreciate you all for letting me come on and coming and listen to me pour out my heart, and for me to get back in this best place. I feel like a burden has been lifted. So all of the hate that came through and everything, you didn't win. The purpose for me coming on was because I was in a bad place when I came on here, and now I'm in a better place. I'm not where I was before. Can you say a prayer for my friend Joe Shaw? He found out the other day he can no longer eat tater cakes. And it's very sad. No. But a prayer has already been sent up for everybody in this chat. If you missed it, you missed it. And for those who didn't, may God cover you from the top of your head to the soles of your feet and change your life for the better. In his son's Jesus' name, amen. Y'all have an amazing night, and I'll see